Yeah. What's up, guys? This time I'm going to be talking about my hometown, Trenton, Georgia. And really, Trenton doesn't really define me. It just kind of puts a background of where I was from. Meaning that comparing me to that town environment is very inaccurate because Trenton is consistently full of just gas stations, fast food joints, and rednecks. Trenton is particularly considered a rest stop, traveling from Chattanooga, or from Chattanooga. Well, to and from Chattanooga, excuse me. Which really explains the gas stations. It's just pretty much just in the middle of nowhere. Like, it's just a bunch of woods and stuff like that. And even just going back to high school, whenever you were traveling to baseball, it would take about 2 hours to get to our conference games because all of the conference teams were either in Rome, Georgia, or Atlanta, Georgia, because there were no Georgia high schools near us. But there is one great thing about living in Trenton. Trenton is very popular about its outdoor activities like hiking, climbing, and hang gliding. Hang gliding is actually a pretty big thing around in Trenton. It's because of Lookout Mountain and Cloudland Canyon. Cloudland Canyon it's definitely the biggest tourist around Trenton and around that area. It's just a big hiking area, and it's a landmark that kind of it's connected to Lookout Mountain. But overall, just the only things that around Trenton is endless woods, mountains, and 2 state lines. Yes, where Trenton is placed on God's green earth at the very northwest corner of Georgia, Trenton is about 20 minutes away from each Tennessee and Alabama line. The closest major city in Alabama is probably Fort Payne. Interesting fact about Fort Payne. Fort Payne is actually the home of the famous rock and roll band Alabama. Alabama went to Fort Payne High School, and most people from Trenton actually went to school with Alabama. And some years back, they actually performed at the week-long festival, Riverbend. Riverbend is on the Tennessee side of where I'm actually about to be explaining. So about 20 minutes on the interstate going north will bring you to the great train city of Chattanooga. Chattanooga is home to the famous Tennessee Aquarium along with many other attractions such as Ruby Falls, Riverbend, and Ingle Stadium. Now, an interesting fact about Ingle Stadium is a classic ground baseball field which was the film set of the biography film of Jackie Robinson, 42. And another cool thing about Ingle Stadium is Babe Ruth and Jackie Robinson actually played on that field. Chattanooga is such a beautiful lit up city with so many attractions and so many beautiful sights that you can just go and see. It's amazing. And that's why I would definitely consider Chattanooga more my hometown than Trenton. But I still love Trenton to death, so that's definitely like a second home, if you will. And one thing I really should mention about Trenton is the county line. Dade County, Georgia is the county line Trenton is located in. Dade County is very well known in Georgia history. Back in the 1860s, Georgia illegally secluded itself from the state and all means the whole country. And yes, Dade County technically was its own state for about 80 years, and it was run by no government. But in the 1940s, Dade supposedly rejoined the states and became one with Georgia again and technically part of the United States. So you could probably say that we were the most hated county in Georgia. But overall, my hometown isn't too special, but in the end, it is my hometown. I will say it strong and proud that I am from Trenton, Georgia, Dade County, because that is where I was raised and that is where my roots grew.